In 2022, SM Entertainment announced they would be unveiling plans to create a rotational female group consisting of pre-existing female artists under the label. While it's unclear if this rotational group concept will continue given recent events under the company, at least one unit has already been released under the Girls on Top unit, called Got the Beat. Got the Beat consists of first-generation soloist Boa, second-generation Girls' Generation members Dion and Hyoyeon, third-generation girl group Red Velvet's members Seulgi and Wendy, and finally fourth-generation girl group Hespa members Karina and Winter. The significance of this unit was major given each's cultural relevance to the company and each artist's talent. This unit was clearly meant to serve as the female equivalent to the company's Superm unit, who debuted 4 years prior in 2019. However, as SM displays a lot, there was a clear favoritism showcase between how the two subunits were treated. While Superm's career and certainly their debut had a planned-out concept, complete with full music, Got the Beat received bare minimum scraps, all the way up to their first mini-album. Personally, I see no point in Got the Beat existing given their current treatment to all the women in their respective careers, groups. I mean, by time GOT's first mini-album had come out, aespa were overdue for a comeback. Red Velvet's last full album was a decade prior. Boa's Forgive Me album packaging was incredibly cheap, her words, not mine. And finally, while Girls' Generation received a full album and promotions to celebrate their anniversary last year, we shall not ignore the utter shafting of the group's unit OGG, who SM somehow, someway never organizes to perform during SM concerts, nor was their season's greetings released in a timely manner like other artists under the label. Still, I do take all requests by my straw besties, and one of them was to do a Nini Creative Direction episode on Got the Beat. For those new to my channel, Nini the Creative Director is a series in which I sit down and reconceptualize and redesign albums or sometimes even whole careers of a group. This could range from redoing eras to giving brand new ones to artists who exist or subunits I'm creating. It's one of my most loved series on the channel. In this series I share my mood board, thoughts on where an artist team has gone wrong, what I would have done, and share my designs. This is all for fun and in no way meant to be taken extremely seriously. Please do remember that I'm doing this solely from my bias and what I want, like I'm not on YouTube trying to be a board of director. Leave the criticism at home. First thing we're doing is scrapping Step Back altogether and just debuting with a full mini album, stamp on it. Step Back was easily one of the most nonsensical things I've ever seen SM put together, and I honestly still can't believe it was a real thing that existed and I witnessed with my own 2 eyes. Putting together a unit and promoting it with a pro-women agenda only to release a chaotic song with borderline misogynistic is so batshit crazy, it makes my head spin. To make matters worse, the concept photo had no concept at all and the song was treated to a stage video rather than an actual music video. The era itself had no significance other than its virality, and I found that to be a huge loser move by the company. Let's make something worth everyone's time, please and thank you, concept. The first thing we're doing is throwing out the entire concept of the album. They had somewhat of a good idea but went the wrong direction both times. The two concepts feel too jarring to be a part of the same project, and the lack of correlation between it and the final product of the music video annoys me. The posing in the first set also felt very unnatural at moments and a bit forced, which isn't a good look for a unit of women put together. I wasn't a fan of the styling either nor the set, everything just felt very outdated. The second concept was more so in relation to the car, auto parts look also featured in the music video, which as you know by now, I wasn't a fan of at all. Very roaches and rats dancing on set with them, very pretty women in squalor, very asbestos in the air. Then the color grading of the photoshoot with the dark olive green styling just made the entire thing feel musty as hell. Another reason we're getting rid of the heist concept is because SM already did similar concepts with Red Velvet's Wild Side and aespa's Girls. There's only so many angles you can take this concept, and the similarities in cinematography and set design at moments make it hard for Got to have their own visual identity as a subunit. But I did mention that there were some good ideas in here, so let's take elements of these concepts and instead highlight them further as the main components of the creative direction. Now honestly, because this is a 7-member group, I couldn't be bothered to go through and restyle everyone. Sorry for my Nini fashion enthusiasts. Just imagine whatever you wanted the styling to be and keep it pushing. What's interesting about this is that I had organized this concept before Ruspa came back, and it took me completely off guard to see what I had envisioned for this, used for that. With the inclusion of graffiti and the skateboard featured with Karina, I decided to make the concept have a city feel to it, with some elements taken from skateboard culture. The entire concept is city focused, taking inspiration from skater culture, and will be executed using acid graphics, neo-brutalism, anti-design, grunge, street art and other elements. I know that sounded like jumbled words. Listen. Sit down in my office, let me show you the mood board. We are basing the entire look of this concept on the city. We'll pick locations that will feature trains, buildings and more niche areas. We are mixing new brutalism, anti-design, grunge, street art and acid graphics for the design execution. We're taking inspiration from skater and hypebeast culture, so I'll be looking towards Thrasher magazine, Supreme branding, Vans branding, Chef DC and JNCO photo shoots. Lastly, we'll have Chung's Crenshaw, NCT 127's sticker and Red Velvet's birthday to look towards for inspiration on experimental composition, typography. For typography, we're getting rid of the ridiculous use of impact bold. I don't know why anyone would think a terrible font known for its meme origins could ever be redeemed for a serious-ass girl crush concept. Please be serious. We needed something that represented the group and the concept well. I immediately thought of Thrasher's fire logo, and I thought that would be the most appropriate to recreate that for both the group's logo and the album title. For the second logo, I took inspiration from both JNCO and Supreme's branding. The typography outside of the logo will lean more experimental, mixing styles. The only true sans serif that will be featured is Helvetica. This is because it's the official typeface used for New York City's subway branding, which is most known, Concept Pictures. Like the original project, we'll do 2 concept sets. Let's begin with the first one, Girl Power. Girl Power is of course referencing the group's name and going back to the initial purpose of the group, to represent women. I'm also going to link this back to the SMCU. Even though I hate it with everything in my power, I feel like if you're going to force this shit down our throats, at least make it fun, like. This is where the new brutalism and grunge aspect comes in first. Every girl will have a comic-style teaser set that lays out the superpower she has and demonstrates it with 2D graphics. Rather than birthday, this teaser set exists within scribbles and typography, leaving realism at home and having this very, jumping off the paper feel. I would also suggest that the one teaser that featured the typography would have motion graphics as well. The second concept set is called Concrete Rose, which is meant to play on the girls being both soft and strong. Concrete Rose will be where the bulk of the concept's inspiration is executed, acid graphics, skate culture, city culture and inspiration from NCT, Chungha and even Red Velvet. Another reason I was bored with Stamp on its content is its setting, and in this teaser set I wanted to rectify it. I made sure to find more unique locations that could offer more fun shots and angles to work with. By mixing textures and playing around with gradient maps, we're taking it further by creating much more oddball visuals that make the work stand out to its inspiration. We're not exactly going for aesthetically pleasing, like we're challenging that, music. Stamp on it is actually a clever title given the name of the unit. I've come around to it, I'll admit, so we're keeping it but scrapping every single song on it. Instead, here is the new tracklist with reasons and inspirations. We're going for mature, electro-pop and R&B inspired. Title track, Dressing Room. This song is angsty, has amazing vocal moments and yet still has parts that are easy and breathable, giving Karina and Hyeon enough parts to shine in between the vocalists. It's also very mature, something that I feel like both of the girls on top title tracks were missing. Every time I listen to Stamp on it or Step Back, it feels like I'm listening to a 4th-gen girl group rather than industry veterans. It just doesn't fit the image of all 7 women in this group. Dressing Room in my opinion is a much better fit. Second track, Love Spell. We can't have a grunge-inspired concept without a pop-punk-inspired track. I love the song and the band feel it has to it, so I just feel like it would be appropriate to have it here. Honestly, this could be a great mood sampler for the project. Third track, Tension. This song is Love Emotion by Brown Eyed Girls that I renamed Tension. Once again, a very mature electro-pop song that I feel like would fit the group well. Fourth track, Kiss Your Lips. Kiss by NCT Doja, which I renamed to Kiss Your Lips mainly to reference Boa's Kiss My Lips. Fifth track, Flashback. This and Kiss are your typical R&B tracks that you will find on SM albums that everybody loves, so they're here. Album package. Honest to God, this album don't need more than one package. Like girl, this is a unit. A money grab at most and they barely put budget into them, just leave it at one version and keep it pushing. I promise I'm not just saying that cause I only made one version though hee. Plus if that one version of the album package has a cool enough idea, I feel like that speaks for itself. You don't always have to split things into two separate packages. Anyways, for me, I would do an album box that literally unfolds when you take it out of the outer sleeve. When it unfolds, it'll reveal all the contents much like New Jeans' debut package does. Inside you have the rubber band and a keychain of the skateboard which will be stuck to the sides with whatever that putty silicone like glue is that they use for children's products. In the middle, the CD will be all the way to the back with the posters and the photo book on top of it, music video. If you'd like to see what I feel like the music video should look like, I've linked it in the description below. It's a music video my non-binary bestie Xuni made for their fictional group Ori. I feel like the vision fits for this. Yeah, that's it. I spent way too much time on this. For free mind you like I'm actually sick. Whatever, see you on the next episode of Nini the Creative Director.